but I'm not able
Yeah.
to. Hi, Krish. Good evening. But I'm not able to hear you. You're muted.
Can you hear me now? Is it better?
Done. Thank you, Aisha. Thank
Okay,
you.
Welcome.
great.
Done.
Tasneem, so happy to see you after such a long time. How are you?
Same here. Same here. You can look at my face and understand those. I'm
All,
overwhelmed with happiness.
all glown, all shebang.
Oh,
Um,
thank you so much.
and thank you for letting me know that I wasn't audible because I was talking to the audience before you'd come on mute mode.
Oh,
So thankfully it's better now. Uh,
fine. So, how are
Perfect.
you doing? How about the climate over there?
I actually came to India for a short while, just to sort out a few things because, a lot of new things had to be started. And my contribution was pivotal there. But I'm so happy to see you. Are you still in Kerala or somewhere else?
I'm still in Kerala and we are just waiting for the day when we'll meet you in person. Do let me tell that.
So sweet, my God. Very kind of you. So I was just
But
telling the
really,
audience.
crossing my fingers and saying, we used to discuss in our group also that when would the day be when we'll meet our mental life in
Oh my
person.
God.
You don't
Absolutely.
have to worry about anything. We'll take care of it. You just be here with us.
So
That's
sweet.
it.
Thank you, Tasneem. So I
How's
was
your
just telling
parents?
the
All
audience.
are doing good.
Sorry, come again.
Your parents all are doing good.
Everybody is fine. Thank you so much. I was
Wow.
just in the statement that I was just talking to the audience before you joined, um, that it's so important for a trainer, especially when they're starting out. There are so many mixed questions that you have. There's so much confusion that you have. So I was just telling everybody that today's conversation is just about how to overcome all of that and just come out smelling of roses as a trainer. And with us, we have somebody that I know personally called Thasneem Basheer, who is somebody that I saw myself in when I
Oh,
was
is
in my
it?
journey.
Thank you so much. I'm both privileged and honored when you say that because you have always added fuel to my passion, I should say.
So
And when
sweet.
there is Krish on the screen, we all are there as a team to work hard, to improvise, and elevate the ability to construct things.
Sweet. How wonderful. Very, very kind of you to say that. Thank you so much. Um, so today, just for the audience to know, we've got a series of questions, and Thasneem is going to be helping us understand about her journey, so that anybody who's watching us right now and wishes to sort of seek inspiration from where to start, what to do, Thasneem is going to be helping us with those answers. And of course, our conversation, I hope, inches those people towards better clarity. So let's get started, shall we?
Yes, that.
Excellent. So, Tasneem, I think I know you for about 12, 13, 14 months now. So
Yes.
I wanted to ask you, especially when you started out, when you first joined Cambridge Veritas, what was your biggest challenge as a trainer or as an individual as you were exploring yourself? And how did, because I know that you did multiple programs at Cambridge Veritas, so, and how did the programs help you sort of overcome those challenges? Over to you.
So, thank you, Mr. Krish, for this question. Indeed, as a teacher, as a trainer who get connected to different heterogeneous groups of students, the biggest thing that I have learned or the challenge is how you get connected with your students in the most simplest way by looking at you, by learning from you, and all through the progress. The session deepened my understanding with how a teacher can convey its thought in the simplest way to the students who are of different levels. And indeed, being a teacher, it's the biggest challenge, because your students are of not the same level, whether you go for an English, whatever type of teaching it is, whether within the classroom scenario or it's been an outbound training or whatever it is, the biggest thing is to get connected. And that challenge was easily solved when I was there, you being on that chair. And I should say that it has helped me a long way to come when I engage my students from the core now.
So sweet. I loved what you said when you engaged the students from the corner because almost all the teachers know how to be selective when it comes to teaching sometimes. I think you were in one of those batches when I had spoken about my experience. I was taking a workshop in London and there was selective teaching happening. But it's
Yes.
important for teachers to include students from all corners, be it adults or young learners.
the
Thank you for mentioning
inclusiveness
it.
the
Inc-
inclusiveness of each and everyone with equal participation without any inhibition, how they open up, and how can I get that connectivity to clinch upon each and every student was a
Certainly.
basic aspect which I got even though the classes were online. So we are really grateful to you, Mr. Krish, for that.
So, so sweet. Thank you so much. I don't want the audience to feel that this conversation is kind of paid for
No,
Krish's.
no, nothing. I should say, whoever is listening to me, I should say all these experiences comes right from deep core of the heart. I've not done one, two, or three. I have done three courses from Cambridge Veritas, and I should say it has helped me a lot. It has refined me a lot, not just being a student, but also as a teacher, as a trainer. How we could have that core achievement, create a space in the heart of your students. That what always matters, right?
So sweet. So sweet. Couldn't agree more. And I must confess, the same kind of I think when the trainer is right, you feel forever indebted to the experience and the interactions that you've had with your trainer, because that's your always reference point, especially when you walk into a classroom. It becomes your reference point like sort of forever. Like for me, it was Megha, and then I had a couple of other trainers, Charles, etc. But Megha remains one person that I still remember to date. So I genuinely value those comments. So thank you so much. Let's talk about teaching methods for a little while, Tasneem. And not just my teaching methods or the teaching methods that you've seen on the test hall program, etc. But uh, I'm sure you've had the opportunity to study from a couple of trainers at Cambridge Veritas with the different courses that you've done. So can you elaborate a little bit on the trainers' teaching methods that helped you sort of upskill yourself, and what, in your opinion, was an approach that made it special for you?
As far as the teaching part is concerned, yet again, I would say my heart is filled with gratitude because it was purely a learner centered approach where fostering the autonomy and critical thinking, where it was not about the PPT being displayed, something written on the board, and then you just give a lecture mode. No, it was all about creating an inclusive learning environment where each being small in number, each and every student were given the importance, and you respected the values of the diverse background we belong to, and we had a intensive experience, I should say, each and every student, because the integration of like how you could integrate the formative assessment techniques, enabling us to gauge that learner progress continually and the tailor instruction to meet evolving needs. And the first thing I should say is that when you start up with an exercise, we earlier used to, this is the exercise, do it. No, but now what we learned is first one we do it all together, and then you give the chances for your students to do that. Also has enhanced that particular trust, that yes, our teacher is there to export. So incorporating all these methodologies has really revolutionized my teaching, allowing my students to engage, with the core content at their own pace, and that freeing class time for deeper exploration, I should say. So
I
it
think that's a
was.
wonderful point. Thank you for mentioning that, because that that friendship that the students develop, be it young learners or adults for that matter, goes a long way, because it's not just testing students on what you're trying to test, but it's also about that collaborative learning environment and that interaction pattern that plays a very important role in uh, uh, making the interaction more friendly and an
Yes.
environment more safer for people to sort of explore different ways of answering the questions. And I think this particularly helps, like you said, and I'd like to add to it, particularly shy students who may otherwise feel a little bit hesitant to answer.
Sorry to interrupt. The way you said is like I do recollect like employing a variety of assessment modalities such as peer assessments and self reflection. When we started implying it in our classroom, it has really encouraged the students to take ownership of their learning journey. Earlier, they had some sort of inhibition when the teachers get randomly changed, or they are new to the teachers. But this method of assessment, like giving them a constructive feedback behind this, it has also highlighted their strength, providing actionable steps for us to help them in improvising themselves, I should say that. And
Certainly,
this is what
certainly.
something I learned it from you, how peer assessment could be more applicable in a classroom scenario, and
Absolutely. This
reducing the TTT and improvising the STT, students
absolutely.
talk time and teacher talk time.
Thank you. Wonderful that you mentioned that because um, assessment towards in the end, I mean, staging an activity plays such an important role in a lesson. I mean, today I feel that if if a trainer in the community that I sit with today, the trainers who feel the most successful in their when they teach CELTA or when they teach TESOL programs, etc., they are those trainers particularly who've mastered lesson planning, and that actually comes predominantly with uh, how you stage the different activities in a lesson. And it is all about, I think we discussed it, clear instructions and then demonstration of activities. Demonstration again is very important because students may know the answer but may be very hesitant, so you make a safe space for them to sort of participate, etc. I think that is quite important. So that this makes me ask my next question. uh, when it comes to Cambridge Veritas, uh, of course, there are various elements of a teacher's journey. But what activities besides um, staging a lesson, staging an activity, what other activities for you in these classes helped gain confidence in your teaching?
Differentiation and inclusivity is what I have learned and I have implemented in my classroom scenario, because
How do you,
differentiated instruction is a pivotal in my teaching, because I design varied learning activities that cater to the diverse needs and abilities of my students. So it's like when you have that clinching connection, they open up to you, they be transparent to you, and incorporating that universal design for learning principles, which I read from one of the books that you have shared with us. That principle ensures that all students have equitable access to the curriculum regardless of their individual challenges. So the emphasis that I put on the importance of cultural responsiveness in my teaching, integrating diverse perspectives and materials that reflect the globalized world where we live in. So it's like that ample practice that you give, a reflective practice, and then the continuous self reflection and professional development has definitely helped me as well as my students to grow on an equal pace. I should say that. It's something which I have learned from you, sir, that how you could engage different students, whether they be a medico or highly advanced or being in an elementary level, engaging in these sorts of collaborative teaching and peer observations, sharing those valuable insights. Because in normal classrooms, it's like the teachers giving the lectures and it's a machine like thing that goes on. Children just jot them down, finish, and done. But it's not like that. Here it's being reflected as what you have learned, what you get, the key takeaways of the day. Usually teachers don't ask that, but it has been, even I, we make this and we ask what is the key takeaway of the day, that what reflected in your blackboard usually. So we used to do that, what was your, and our children used to answer with the same way, even it is adult or even if it is students, the answering method is the same. So it has also been very different journey where you get to learn how you can make your classroom live and engaging, rather than having that same disapita monotonous way of learning. Children are not interested in that, especially with adults. For children, we can motivate them by prizes, gifts, and everything. But when it comes to adult learners, it's very difficult to pull them out from their comfort zone and start working as we desire.
Thank you for talking about it. Those exit ticket moments are sometimes the motivating factor for students because they know that in the end of the day, ye पूछने वाला hai.
Yes.
I mean, so they need to have their eyes hawked and locked on the most important element of the lesson, be it a 1 hour's training session or a 2 hours lesson, but then that goes a long way. Thank you.
Every
We're,
day I name, every day I name that part in different way. What's in your bag today?
it's in your
Where
bag.
do you live? So these
Uh-huh.
are the different ways. I don't keep the same phrases regularly. When this
Uh-huh.
session comes, it's like what's in your bag today, or how, like what substances that filled your day. Likewise, your cup is filled with. So they'll just say whatever they have learned, the key
Beautiful.
takeaways. Likewise.
How beautiful incorporating realia in the classroom. Wonderful. I'm now going to pivot the conversation a little bit, and we're now going to be talking about uh, phonetics, which are a big scare storm for a lot of teachers. So my question to you is, uh, I still remember the time, the masterclass when you were going through, especially when it comes to phonetics, and there were, I suppose, 9 or 10 other corporate trainers and teachers with us. Can you share with us some specific exercises or techniques that helped you a lot in terms of mastering phonetics and now has helped you sort of further teaching it if you're teaching it these days? So, what were those?
When it comes to the voice and accent training, I should say that it was very instrumental in refining my phonetic accuracy, ensuring clarity and precision in verbal communication. And that too, in the class where I was put to, we had many diggards, I should say, who were vastly experienced in this field. And but the way you comforted me, it was not the same as I was there on day one and the end of the day. Whole through the pace, you made it sure that I participate equally amongst them. And through that systematic practice, I mitigated regional accent influences to somewhat I feel that to be a bit more precise, more neutral, because Aisha, when I had a talk with her, she said that she acknowledged it, that I'm having a change in what and how I say. So that was the first thing which I should say. And the way you made us practice with the wow sounds, the consonant sounds, uh, the different application, it was not just like this is this and this is this. No, you were there asking each and every one to repeat it individually with the group task. So the person, I should say, like there were other people also who were, we were on the same page, but at the same time advanced level people being there, but we didn't find a difference. The way you included it, same inclusivity, the technique, and the app practice. We have this app to practice where you get the live sessions of monothongs, diphthongs, and the words you use. And you were very specific at that time how we used to pronounce each and every word. Some specific rules with R, like the words ending with R shouldn't be pronounced or stressed upon. So all those things, the training underscored the significance of intonation and stress patterns and conveying meaning and emotions in spoken language, I should say. So the essential aspect of the score was like mastering the rhythm and the flow of English, which significantly enhances both professional and casual conversation, because English is predominantly a global language and its importance cannot be ignored. So that was also a wonderful journey where I improvised myself with you being on the chair. Thank you,
And I
sir.
think you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you so much for talking about it. And I think with your particular batch, because I remember it, I think it was in September last year, October, towards
Yes.
the end of October. I think you, Sagar, there was a lot of motivation in the batch, and you guys would actually practice outside of the masterclass session hours as well, which
We
I thought
created
was
a WhatsApp group because your homeworks were there, which was at the earliest stage a bit scary, storm in a cup, and we need to prepare ourselves. So it was like we used to take their assistant, and I should say they were readily available to assist us. They used to spare 45 minutes before the
Sweet.
session, and we together as a work, we used to practice in ample, and still we
Mhm.
are in touch. They used to assist us whenever there is a need. We call them, and they are there.
Uh-huh.
That group is still live, I should say. That
Sweet.
bond is still nourishing.
How sweet, how wonderful. So now this leads me to the next question that I wanted to ask. And this is, how did interacting with people like Sagar, who was an established corporate trainer himself, and I think we had a lot of other people as well in the group, Nihali, etc. How
Yes.
did that help you in your learning process? And I mean, you don't need to answer the second question. I know that you had many study buddies, which you still continue doing. So my question is, how did that interaction help you in that overall learning process?
So first and the foremost, I should say that whatever was done was being the time frame of our classroom scenario. So after the classroom scenario, when we step into something which is new, apart from each master class which has significantly contributed to the professional repertoire, equipping us with the skills, but we understood where we stand. So we knew our feet very well. And it's like kuch zyada chahiye. It's not that if you stick on with this you are going to improvise. So there these fellow trainers were there with the helping hands, everly ready, making time for us, coming up, taking that core initiative from the beginning, which couldn't be completed within the time frame of our masterclass, even though you never stick on to the time. I should say, if it's 1 hour, we end up by 1.5 hour. If it is like 1.5 hour, we end it up by 2 hours. So genuinely you were not there sticking on to the time. And the same thing with the fellow trainers. They were highly amiable in nature, they were very supportive, and the way they helped us to know each and more thing, in a deeper manner, is what I would say as enhanced or contributed for our development.
Couldn't
So
agree
yeah.
more. Thank you. Lovely. Absolutely. Thank you so much for talking about it. I think that camaraderie goes a long, long way, especially when you want to create that community and you're in that initial phase of, exploring opportunities across India or internationally. I think once you've got those study buddies, they also help you sort of explore opportunities that would otherwise um, not be as prevalent in your own state. So I think that helps in more ways one can think.
And to
You know,
add more, sir, learning from the experiences of my peers, it has indeed provided fresh insights that significantly enhanced different instructional approaches, because they were emphasizing more on collaboration, the mutual learning, and it was not that they were keeping us away from anything. They were assisting us to identify the areas of improvement and the questions that used to pop up. They cleared, and still if the doubt persists, we were to you, and you took each and every single questions that were popped up from my end to clarify it. Undoubtedly, without any doubt, you were there. So it is always a very engaging learning method of learning when you are there with Cambridge
sweet.
Veritas, I should say. A
Thank you.
different experience of learning. You really don't feel that you are time bound and you are confined within the four walls of your classes. That is only a system in front of you. No, it was live, it was inclusive, and it's totally a different experience when it comes to an online learning from you being there on the chair. I'll say this to each and everyone.
Sweet,
Thank you
sweet.
so much for that. Always
Thank
grateful.
thank you. I really appreciate that. I was just in the statement that uh, not only the collaborative learning, so much, we've spoken about collaborative learning, feedback, phonetics, and a lot of things here and there. I would now like to ask you, what was your favorite part of the Cambridge Veritas curriculum? Yeah, and how does that today sort of resonate with you, especially when you go back making lessons, etc.? So during the teacher training, what has gotten um, into you the most in terms of the curriculum aspect of your training?
The thing is, like, curriculum was like, when it comes to IELTS, it was all about those advanced writing skills, because we need to express ourselves, our thoughts with clarity, being within the word limits. That is something very something very important, imperative if you need to score more in IELTS writing. So I should say that the language skill development with the curriculum, and when you engage your class, the cooler that you used to put, the warmers that you used to put to engages, and
Yeah,
exploring the
beautiful.
nuisance of grammar, which was indeed a highlight, as it forms the foundation of effective communication and writing, even though it is in IELTS or you be the teacher. Because in the trainer part, it was not just about the trainer thing that you mentioned. You were looking for the overall development as a teacher too. So that part, and I enjoyed the speaking modules, where I personally developed the confidence and fluency through interactive and dynamic activities, I should say. And all my notes have been binded and kept up, like it's my own library, the asset in my library. So I would never, every day whenever it's required, I just take them. I do have the references, and it's like it enriches me as a teacher for a better understanding of language in context that is helpful for my students. So I find it as a great satisfaction in introducing students to the rich diversity of all these different activities, broadening their listening skills, and the different techniques that you like, pre-listening, post-listening, with all those things to enhance their listening skills, and equipping them with the grammar, vocabulary, coherent devices, discussing those cross-cultural communication strategies was my favorite topic, I should say. So it's like interactions in a multicultural world. It is indeed a different experience, and that it's been a gap, but the impact still that is there. What I
Persists.
learned from you plays a vital role.
The impact persists, yes. Thank you so much for talking about, you're actually picking up concepts here and there that are so pivotal, especially when it comes to a teacher in the training. And I'm so glad that you're able to pick on them, because these are those concepts that sort of go a long way. For example, the coolers and the settlers that you've spoken about, the stirrers and the settlers, especially a very important technique that although works wonders with young learners, but recently I started using and exploring that with adults as well, and it works equally well with adults too, because there are students who do tend to get easily bored. And today, in the world of reels and shorts, when everybody wants something quick, I think stirrers and settlers is an important technique that goes a long way. So great, thank you for talking about it, and I'm so proud that you're actually, I would say, you've got a strong grip of your concepts, which I think is great, Tasneem, and congratulations to you for
Oh, thank you,
that.
sir. Thank you for everything. But I should say, like, I want to be Lady Krish. And why is that? I'll say, I eagerly, it's not only me, our entire batch, once the session is started and it's you on the chair, we eagerly used to wait for your classes. And I
Sweet.
want the same thing to happen with my students. When they come to know that it's Tasnim is for the day today, it should be they should be waiting for it eagerly, without any monotony, without any repetition. So that passion of teaching, and having that crucial enhancing feel is there. And I really wish I would become Lady Krish. Touch
So
wood.
you'd become better than Krish, I say it all the time. I think the purpose of, and I think tomorrow when that opportunity comes for us to become a teacher trainer, there are going to be people who are going to be grateful to us. But I think the most beautiful part of it is that that appreciation has to actually become better. As we say that children are 10 times the version of their parents. Similarly, students are also the 10 times better version of their teachers, and the teachers are good. So I think, very sweet. Thank you so much for mentioning that. I want to
I
ask
have
you,
never, one more thing to mention.
please.
I have never seen you frowning. whatever type of questions it comes, whatever tantrums we used to throw with idiotic type of questions and all, you have always answered it peacefully. You were always there with that smiling face.
Sweet.
And that is very hard to find in today's era, because teachers, they get restless very quickly. And
It
here
does.
I should say, whoever is listening to me, if you get Mr. Krish on the chair and you are there as his student, you all are blessed enough to have that vast fund of resources live in front of you. To take up that opportunity, grab that opportunity, because we are yesterday's people grooming tomorrow's children, right? Yesterday's people grooming tomorrow's children. So you have lots to learn from Mr. Krish. So just grab it or absorb it like a sponge. That's it. That's it.
Sweet. Thank you so much. Thank you. I want to ask you one important question, and uh, it's got to do a lot with what you have learned over the years. And this is one last question that we have for today's live. Can you, Thasneem, share with us one piece of advice for teachers who are in training who are still struggling with confidence in teaching English? Because more often than not, you tend to think a lot about your own English language skills and you want to be sort of perfect before you step into the classroom. So, based on your experience at Cambridge Veritas or outside, because you've been teaching as well, what's one piece of advice you'd like to give teachers who are just starting out their journey?
First and the foremost, I should say, believe in yourself. We have come so far and definitely will make. But being there, you need a better mentor. Never ever feel that you having a MA or you have your set net all those professional qualification and it is done with. It's not like that. We being teachers always handle livestock, and they are our children. As I already mentioned, we are yesterday's people grooming today's children for an unprecedented tomorrow. So we always wish to give the best to them. So join in with such reputed institutions, having the vast experiences where you could create opportunities not only for yourself to enhance your language skills live with mentors like Mr. Krish. After that, you have practice session through LMS and students where you get different AI tools to improvise your speaking skills, or various topics are given to you where you can enhance your vocabulary, your grammar part, all those things, those model good language practices that you provide to yourself would always help to give it to your students, because students learn by observing their teachers. So create opportunities for yourself to improvise, come out of your comfort zone, because we are never ever complete. Every time there is something to be filled, and when you are filled with positivities and good learning, then only you can pour it out at its best to your students for their overall development. So please be a part of a growing and growth development community where you keep on enhancing, because we being Indians, we have a gap with the native speakers, and that of being English as a secondary language for us. So get experienced, get exposed, foster that love by introducing that diverse range of learning, definitely, which you are going to get from Cambridge Veritas. I trust. I'm a student from this and I feel proud of that, and definitely looking forward for more and more whenever there is new opportunity to learn. So this is what I would like to tell you, sir, that. And for every teachers who is stepping into this, to imbibe confidence, you need practice. And for practice, you need to put yourself into a community which keeps you developing. So we should have a tribe of ourselves, have a circle having the same goal and ambition, create it wherever you are, and enjoy learning and improvisation. Learning by doing. That's it. Thank you.
Fantastic. My God. Every time I listen to you, I feel like I've heard a beautiful, inspirational speech that I need to clap for. But thank you so much
All
for.
inspiration drawn from you, sir. We have learned. See, it's not like I'm not buttering to be very transparent enough. It's nothing flowery words that is being given because online learning was introduced to us at the time when there was a onset of corona. I have seen my students yawning while the classes were on. I have seen my students keeping their cameras off while their classes were on. I have seen my children, my kids listening to their teachers and how the different fractions of experience, like expressions that used to be there on your face. But I'll readily tell you that we love to be there in your classes without switching off the camera, having all those active interactions with pleasure, with happiness, everything live, full of gay, with all those vibes on from the first till the end. Like it's not like every day, like Monday to Friday we are having classes, that's it. At 8 we are having classes, we are ready. When it comes to Saturday and Sunday, even though the classes are not there, we are missing the class and we are back on Monday again. And the end of the day, when the class is going to finish, we all are like this, like, oh, the class is all over now, so we shall look for something else. So please, please be in such a community where mentors on the chair motivate you to. It's not just about developing yourself, but what you share with the community.
Lovely. Thank you so much. So, what's coming next? What are you looking forward to this team?
I just had a word with Aisha about center. I just had a word with business English and advanced English fluency. So she said that she will be updating me. So just looking forward for that so that I can improvise myself and
Mhm.
like having classes from you all, and definitely still using all those monothong diphthong parts with those AI tools in the LMS to improvise. At times I used to take it, and with the speaker connected to my laptop, I used to make my children also learn, whether it irrespective whether they are adults or young ones. I used to make them hear those repetitive words.
Lovely. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, for anybody who's been a part of this conversation, thank you so much for tuning in on LinkedIn and on Instagram, which is this live was scheduled for today. Thasneem, I want to say that you are somebody who inspires, I'm sure, your students and who inspired personally me as well, because of your commitment towards improving your own personality as a trainer, which I think is quite rare. A lot of the teachers that I've met throughout my life want to get a quick TESOL and then get into a classroom and start teaching, even if they do not know the intricacies of TESOL and so many other aspects of teaching. I still remember any certificate that came my way, especially when I was sort of entering and making my way into the ESL world. I was doing it. Thank you. Thanks to all the people, and most importantly, my teacher trainer, Megha, who helped me do that. And I kind of see the same elements of masala and characteristics in you as well, which I would say that there are opportunities in life where you get to meet teachers who actually embody those characters, and you're one of them. And I hope that that the same zeal that you emanate in your personality gets inspires so many other teachers around you, and that ripple effect that we sort of create in with the help of our um intention gets transmitted into to so many people and so many lives. Thank you so much for being a part of Cambridge Veritas as always, and I'd love to see and get to know updates from you every now and then of what's going on
Sure,
in your
sure.
life. Keep in touch
As
on
the same
LinkedIn.
thing before we wrap up or end up, the same thing that I used to repeat is like there is a movie called Krish in India. You know that it just motivates kids to be a better human, and we are blessed to have Mr. Krish on the chair. Who motivates us to be the best teacher, best trainer, and to give the best to the students
Sweet.
and our adults. That's it. That's it,
Sweet.
undoubtedly. Thank you so much,
Sweet.
sir. Heart
Thank
filled with
you.
gratitude. And whenever I just think of you, or whenever it's all about the best teacher list, you are there.
My
You
God.
are there. Thank you
How
so
sweet.
much for that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for being a part of our training session and for being such motivated uh, participant. God bless. Take care. Keep in touch. And to
Thank you.
anybody who's watching, thank you, Ms. Thasneem, for joining us and taking out time. Who'd been a participant of not one, not two, but three teacher training programs at Cambridge Veritas. And anybody who's
Waiting
interested
for
in,
Celta, sir.
sorry,
Waiting for Celta and having
I'm
all
going
those
to
fun
Celta.
experiences in the
I'm going
classroom.
to
Yes.
Celta, Michael. All the best to you for that. And you'll
No,
actually
I'm
see.
waiting for Celta when it would be introduced by Cambridge Veritas. I'm just waiting for that patiently, and I'll be learning more and more from you. That's it.
That's
Not
great.
from any other institution. Not
That's
from any other institution. Just
that's
Chris sir on the chair and having all those fun-filled experiences. That's it. And it's not just about all those fun-filled experiences, the different types of books that you share with us. Having those fast fund of like exposure, being within the scenario, you at the comfort of your home. You get those PDFs. You take the prints, get it binded and keep it. Those expensive textbooks rather. It gives you a complete package of knowledge, so that
that's
also making you to read and realize that this is what something has to be implicated while you put into, because
that's right.
nowadays it's not just about being a teacher. Teachers donning various caps of being a motivator,
Absolutely.
facilitator, coaches, everything has to be done by one person. So all your
Yes.
textbooks that you shared with us is really helping us to improvise ourselves, because we come to know where we stand and what extra is needed to make things better each and every we go step we go.
Super lovely. Great. Thank you for mentioning that. I couldn't agree more because the curriculum, I think, being developed by Jill Richards and a lot of other trainers at Cambridge Veritas has definitely helped. And I've seen a lot of teacher trainees along the journey. Uh, Perfect. Thank you. So, this is the wrap. Thank you so much, everybody. For more details, if anybody's interested in pursuing any of the courses, you can see there's a number that's sort of ticketing around. Um, it is 8068212576. If you wish to know more details, there are counselors out there ready to help you. Tasneem, God
Yes.
bless. Take care, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Yeah,
So thank
thank
you,
you.
sir. God bless you too and
Bye.
family. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Thank
Take
you.
care. Bye.